Hi, tonight from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book on record to play for you. Today's book is Alibaba and the 40 Thieves for 1958. So let's get started.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Uncle Dave, about to read a story with you. When you hear this sound, you should turn the page of your book. Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, a story from 1001 Arabian Nights. Pictures by Lowell Hess, Simon & Schuster, New York. Turn the page. Once upon a time, there were two brothers, Qasim and Ali Baba. Now, Qasim had married a rich wife, and he had become a wealthy merchant. But Ali Baba had married a poor wife, and his money was soon gone. It was all he could do to earn enough money by cutting firewood to sell. Turn the page. One day, as Ali Baba was on his way home from the forest, he heard the galloping of horses. Fearing that there were thieves in the woods, Ali Baba quickly climbed a tree. Imagine his astonishment when the horsemen stopped at the foot of his tree near a great rock. There were 40 men in all, fierce and rough-looking. Their horses were laden with treasures. The fiercest man said in a loud voice, "Open, sesame!" The rock moved aside to show the entrance to a cave. All 40 men and their horses went inside the cave, and the rock moved into place behind them. Turn the page. As soon as they came out again and had galloped out of sight, Ali Baba came down from his tree and said boldly, "Open, sesame!" The rock moved aside, and Ali Baba went into the cave. Never had the poor woodcutter seen such riches. There were great casks filled with jewels, and piles of gold coins were scattered on the floor. Costly rugs and tapestries hung from the walls, and silks lay on the rocks. Quickly, Ali Baba took a square of silk and filled it with gold coins. Then, with an open sesame, he was out of the cave and on his way home. Turn the page. Ali Baba's wife was so enchanted with the treasure that she wanted to count it then and there. "No, wife. Quickly, help me to hide it," said Ali Baba. "If the thieves discover us, they will kill us." But Ali Baba's wife went nevertheless to borrow a measuring cup from Qasim's wife, who lived next door. And when she returned the cup, there was a gold coin in the bottom of it. Qasim's wife quickly went to wake her husband. "Your brother, the woodcutter, is so poor that he borrows a cup to measure his gold coin," she told him. Qasim hurried to his brother's house, and Ali Baba told him about the robber's cave. "In the morning I will visit the cave myself," said Qasim. And he did. He took with him 10 donkeys and loaded them with gold and jewels and rugs and silks. But then he could not remember the magic word that would open the door of the cave. "Open barley," he said. But of course nothing happened. "Open wheat. Open corn," he said. But the door remained shut. Presently, the 40 thieves arrived and saw Qasim's 10 donkeys. Angrily, they searched the cave until they found Qasim trembling behind a jar of gold. Then they cut him in 4 pieces and left, still angry that their secret cave had been discovered. When Qasim did not return from the cave, Ali Baba went to look for him, and he found his brother cut in 4 pieces. Sadly, he took the pieces home. "We must pretend he died a natural death," he said, "or the thieves will find us out and kill us too." Now Ali Baba had a slave called Morgiana. She was not only beautiful, she was also very clever. Morgiana went to fetch a leather worker, but first she blindfolded him so that he would not remember the house where Qasim lived. Then the leather workers sewed Cassim into one piece again, and Cassim was buried as if he had died a natural death. Ali Baba and all his household moved into Cassim's fine house, and Ali Baba became a wealthy merchant. And now, boys and girls, turn the record over, and we'll continue on the other side. And don't forget to turn the page. Here we are on the other side of the record. Did you remember to turn the page? Good. When the thieves found the body of Cassim gone, they knew that someone else must know their secret cave. The chief of the robbers sent one of the thieves into the town, and by chance he came to the shop of the leather worker. "You have a steady hand," said the thief as he watched the man sewing leather. Yes," said the worker. "I have to have. You should have seen the work I had to do the other day." And he told the robber about sewing up Cassim's body. "Show me the house," said the robber, giving him a gold piece. When the robber had blindfolded him, the leather worker easily remembered the way to Cassim's house, and the robber marked the house with a white cross. Turn the page. But when Morgiana came out the next morning and saw the white cross, she marked all the doors in the street the same way. The next day, she found a red mark, and she did the same thing. But the next day after that, the robber chief himself was led to the house. He counted the doors in the street, and he remembered Ali Baba's house without making any mark. A few days later, he came to Ali Baba's house and said, "Kind sir, I will pay you well if you will let me stay here for the night. See, I have 40 jars of fine olive oil to pay you with." And he opened one jar, which did indeed contain fine olive oil. So Ali Baba let him stay, for he did not recognize him as one of the robbers. Turn the page. Now, as Morgiana was preparing dinner in the kitchen, she noticed that her cruet of olive oil was empty. She went to the courtyard and opened the nearest jar. To her surprise, a deep voice said, "Is it time to come out?" Then she guessed at once what was going on. Making her voice as deep as possible, she said, "No, not yet," and passed on to the next jar. As she had expected, in every jar except one, there was hidden a thief. So Morgiana took oil from the jar in the courtyard, and she boiled it in kettles. When it was hot, she poured oil into each of the jars until each thief was smothered. That night, when all was quiet, the robber chief gave a signal for the robbers to come out of their jars, but not one of them appeared. When the robber chief found out what had happened, he fled into the night very angry indeed. But soon he thought of another plan. He disguised himself and made friends with the son of Ali Baba. And Ali Baba's son, being a polite boy, invited his new friend to the house of his father. Ali Baba, who was short-sighted, did not recognize the robber. But Morgiana knew him at once, and she thought of a plan. She asked if she might dance for her master's guest. For Morgiana was not only beautiful and clever, she could also dance very well. Morgiana soon appeared in a dancing costume, carrying a dagger in each hand. And when she had finished dancing, and the men were still entranced with her beauty and with the music, Morgiana plunged a dagger deep into the heart of the wicked robber. Ali Baba was stricken with horror. But when Morgiana told him who his guest was, Ali Baba embraced her fondly. "What can I do to repay you?" he said. "Many times over you have saved our lives." Morgiana replied that most of all she would like to marry Ali Baba's son. And so they were married, Morgiana and the son of Ali Baba, rich merchant of ancient Persia. And no one in Ali Baba's family was ever short of money, for all they had to do was to go to a certain rock in the forest and say, Open sesame, and they would discover a great treasure. And for all we know, that cave is there to this very day, waiting for any who know the secret words.
So that was Alibaba and the 40 Thieves for 1958. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. And our next book will be the Romper Room book of Happy Animals.